The gateway was activated, and the reactor hall filled with a blinding whitish-blue light. With an explosion of energy, a swirling blue-grey vortex appeared in front of us. Its mirror-like surface appeared to bubble randomly like the surface of the ocean. I gave the order for a systems check. "Dynamorphic shield generator active," Major Danielson said. "Thrusters ignited and ready. Environmental control systems functioning." "Gentlemen," I said, "good luck to all of you." A message came over the cockpit radio. "This is Mission Control to the Continuum Explorer. Guys, good luck and Godspeed. We'll see you soon." "Roger that," said the Major, looking at me with that infectious smile of his. "Well," I said, "what are you waiting for? Let's go." Danielson activated the thrusters, and we passed through the surface of the portal. We entered what appeared to be a tunnel, formed of swirling energy, blue, white, yellow, and orange. It was a magnificent sight. We were in a nowhere place, travelling through a void that defied both logic and explanation. The ship passed calmly through the twisting conduit we had created, bouncing off the sides every now and then as it hurtled around the tight bends in the wormhole. We exited the tunnel of light into what seemed like another void. "Where are we?" I asked. Danielson looked at the readings on the dashboard display. "I don't know," he said to me, with a bewildered expression on his face. "I mean, there should be a planet here. This should be Earth, or at least a different version of it." A voice came over the cockpit radio. "Lieutenant Colonel Sullivan, Major Danielson, this is Lieutenant Gunning at the Scientific Analysis Station. You're going to want to see this for yourselves." We swiftly made our way through the shiny metal corridor of the Explorer to Leandra's station. "We're in space," she said, "but not as we know it. There are vast amounts of hydrogen all around us, some helium, some lithium, all the basic elemental ingredients needed to form matter. But, well, it's as though, I don't know, this can't be possible." "What?" I asked. "What is it?" The lieutenant explained. Big Bang theory states that about 2 seconds after the initial explosion of the singularity, the temperature rose to around 10 billion degrees centigrade and ignited the nuclear reaction that created the lighter elements, the hydrogen and the helium, the basic building blocks of stars and other cosmic matter. The stability of the universe depends on a precise conversion of that hydrogen to helium, where around 7/1000ths of its mass becomes energy. I can't quite believe it myself, Harry, but we seem to have arrived in a universe that never properly formed. It's as though somehow everything is destabilizing, falling apart. I paused for a moment as I realized the gravity of what my colleague was saying. "You mean to say that in this alternate version of the universe, that ratio of mass to energy has been disrupted? That would mean that life never came into existence because the cosmos would simply disintegrate before any planets could be formed. It's as though everything has just stalled." The Major finished my sentence for me. He was always doing that. Now and then I would remind him of my authority over him and how that was not the most appropriate way to speak to your senior commander. But the truth was that I enjoyed his enthusiasm for science. "Amazing," I said. "I heard a theory once that there could have been multiple Big Bangs, each one producing a different universe. In theory, these universes might not all become stable. Some might not even have been able to exist at all. Until now, I thought that was just a hypothesis, but this, well, this is just beyond imagination." Sir, Danielson said, I don't want to be a killjoy, but I have to tell you, there's something strange about the forces in this universe. They're affecting our thrusters. I've never seen anything like this before. Can you fix it? Yes, but if we want to make it back alive, we need to get going very soon. Understood, I said. We both went back to the cockpit and prepared to return home. Everything ran smoothly until we reopened the trans-dimensional portal. In a flash of blinding light, the shimmering blue-grey surface reappeared, and we entered. As we did so, a massive explosion rocked our ship. What the hell was that? One of our thrusters blew out. Some kind of energy discharge from the portal, reacting with the native energies in this universe. We got caught in the eddy of the blast, and it took our engine with it. I can get us back, but it'll be a bumpy ride. As we hurtled back through the trans-dimensional conduit, thrown violently from side to side, I couldn't help but think what could have happened if we could have somehow restored that balance of that fundamental elemental reaction. It scared me slightly to think that, if we had wanted to, we could have become part of the process of creation itself, on a scale no human being could ever have imagined before. The guys back at the laboratory had a field day interpreting our results. The textbooks and research files that lined the walls seemed almost pointless now. We had seen something unimaginable that the authors of those works could never have predicted. We were, literally, rewriting the story of the universe itself. A month later, we decided to return to what many of us had nicknamed the Dungeness, to collect more data. What we found astonished us and changed the history of our race forever. We hurtled out of the portal to the exact same coordinates in space to discover that the sky was full of beautiful stars, shining like torches where there had previously been nothing. Out of chaos had been born order. As unbelievable as it seemed, during our brief absence, an entire universe had come into being. How did this happen? I asked, as a puzzled Lieutenant Gunning struggled to make sense of the data on her screens. Okay, she said. This is going to sound a little strange, but bear with me. I think I can make sense of all this. She frantically scanned the data screens in search of an explanation. From what I can tell, we arrived in the same place, but not in the same time frame. That explosion we felt as we were leaving last time knocked the end of the trans-dimensional conduit out of phase, shifted it forward in time somehow. I can't tell you how far forward. All I can say is that a very long period of time has passed since we were last here. Our little explosion also had an effect on the hydrogen to helium reaction taking place here. It must have acted as a catalyst for the reaction to restart. According to these readings, the mass-to-energy conversion reached a stable enough point for stars and cosmic matter to form. What you're seeing out there is a young universe, and it's all down to us. There was a stunned silence on board the Voyager. But, I started, then that means... Danielson finished my sentence for me. We just helped create a new universe.